Hi everyone, Jennifer here, back with another movie talk spoiler. And this spoiler is on How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World. Now, before we get started, any of you out there who have not yet seen How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World, I suggest you go view that movie now, as this video will reveal some spoilers at the end of the movie. Okay, so I'm assuming anyone who's watching this video now has seen How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World. Okay, so what I want to talk about is what happens at the end of How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World. And that is basically, we see right after Hiccup and his friends rescue their dragons and the Light Fury, Angel as I call her, from Grimwald, I believe was the name of the person who was hunting the dragons. If not, I apologize. We see that, well, we know from a good chunk of the movie that Toothless and the Light Fury have kind of bonded. And we know from Astrid, Hiccup, and Stormfly's trip into the Hidden World that Toothless and the Light Fury have actually become mates. So basically what happens is that Hiccup makes the decision that he has to let Toothless go. Toothless belongs with the Light Fury, but the Light Fury will never be comfortable around him. So, out of the love for his friend, he lets him go. And following suit, realizing that it's not just Toothless who can't stay in their world anymore, it's all their dragons, and that because he's the alpha, all the dragons will follow Toothless anyways. The rest of Berk lets all their dragons go as well. Then we kind of move forward a little bit. We see, Berk's covered in snow, so we know it's the winter. And we see the wedding of Hiccup and Astrid, which is nice. I knew that was going to happen in this, even without the clips I've seen online or anything. I knew at some point they were going to do that because they had built up to it. Hiccup really liked Astrid in the first movie, and they kind of sort of become like boyfriend and girlfriend at the end of the first movie. All the way through Riders and Defenders of Berk, they kind of have, she's his second in command of the Riders. All the way through from the first movie all the way to the end of this one when they let the dragons go, including the TV shows and everything. We see a little bit of tension between them in Riders of Berk and Defenders of Berk, but it's more like that 15-year-old boyfriend-girlfriend just kind of getting used to being boyfriend-girlfriend kind of tension thing. And then in Race to the Edge, we do see them as actually like a couple, like a dating couple. And they actually become betrothed in Race to the Edge. And then we see in How to Train Your Dragon 2, not so much the betrothal, that they're betrothed, but we do have Stoic calling Astrid at the beginning of the movie his future daughter-in-law. And we do see them kind of, Astrid and Hiccup kind of being there for each other more than we have seen them. And then in this movie, we do see, now that we know what their relationship is, we do see them really connected. Gabber makes the comment at the beginning of the movie that they need to get married and everything. And a lot of why they don't at the beginning of the movie, because I thought, oh, this is going to happen at the beginning of the movie, and it doesn't, it happens at the end, which is okay. But why they say that at the beginning of the movie is that they say they're not ready. And you have to understand that this movie takes place a year after How to Train Your Dragon 2. So, and we know from in How to Train Your Dragon 2, they're 20. So they're only 21 in this movie, during the bulk of this movie. I don't know how old they are at the end, in the wedding scene, but probably 20, maybe 21, depending on when their birthdays are. And we really don't know how old they are in Race to the Edge. I'm assuming they're 20. I'm assuming this is just several months before that. Race to the Edge takes place a few months before How to Train Your Dragon 2. But they could be 19 as well. So they're right in that, in Race to the Edge, they're right in that 19 to 20 age group. So, you know, by our standards, it's like, yeah, that's still kind of young to get married. I mean, granted, people get married that young anyways, but you got to take into consideration during this time period, it was considered an appropriate marriage age. But again, it's like they even state that they're not ready for that. And apparently at the end of the movie, they are ready. They face this big challenge. And yes, I know you saw the movie too. Sorry, my cat is making her own comments. And they've decided they're ready for that step. Then when we jump forward several years, I think 10 years maybe, and we find they've been aged up a little bit, and we see they're on a boat sailing to presumably the hidden world. And they're not alone on the boat. They have 2 children with them. So they've had 2 children. I don't think at this point they've had any more, because I think if they did, they would have been there. And we see the Light Fury and Toothless. And Toothless actually comes onto the boat and greets them. Their children are very much afraid of Toothless, and this goes back to Homecoming. And it's because they apparently learned that prior to when Hiccup and Toothless were friends, that the Vikings fought dragons, and they are a little bit afraid of the dragons because they haven't grown up around them. And so, Hiccup and Astrid introduce them to their friends. And then we see the family going for a flight on Toothless and Stormfly with the Light Fury there. And it's not just the Light Fury that joins them. She and Toothless are also the proud parents of 3 adorable little baby dragons that the fans have dubbed the Nightlights. So really, it's so cute. And it's I love the ending. I thought it tied all the movies together beautifully. It gives kind of a hint at what the future holds. I believe the people of Berk are actually protect the hidden world from everyone else. I used to think when I found out before I watched the movie that, they have to give away, when I saw Hidden World, because I wasn't really watching it that closely, I assumed that they somehow sealed off the hidden world, and that somehow the Nightlights maybe found a way out and whatnot. I didn't realize that they didn't seal it off. They left it open. So what I think is, I know what you think. Sorry, my cat's just making her own comments here. I think that Hiccup decided that Berk was going to, protect the hidden world, make sure nobody went near it, discovered it. Because of their proximity to the hidden world, they were able to, they have a very good chance to do this. Okay, please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.